To be fair, he's the one throwing them up there.
How you get him to do that? How you get him to jump one at a time? Everybody queue up.
The Chinese restaurant is this way.
Raymond, I told you about that cutting and pushing. Stand back.
The duck saviour, Joel Armstrong, is a banker by profession and was keen to remove the duck family from the high ledge so he could jump off it himself. This is the Hungarian bird hospital, which has given an injured stork a new artificial beak. In ancient mythology, it was the stork that flew through the sky, bringing a new baby to someone's home. These days, that job is done, of course, by the pilot of Madonna's private jet. Time now for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. Your four are Bear Grylls, Nick Griffin, Peter Duncan, and Lieutenant Colonel Arthur Herbert Tennyson Summers Cox.
There's a link here, scouting.
Yes.
Bear Grylls has become the new chief scout. Alan Duncan...
Alan Duncan, Peter Duncan.
Peter Duncan.
Alan Duncan would be a great chief scout. Yeah.
He would. Bob a job round his house. All on expenses. Anyway, he was chief scout.
Who's that fella called? No, Arthur what?
Lieutenant...
Arthur Herbert Tennyson Summers Cox, I think he was.
Terrific name. He was chief scout. Nick Griffin's the fascist who's BNP chief who's trying to get himself invited to a Buckingham Palace garden party.
Yes.
That's not work, because when he gets to the door, and they go, well, hang on.
Oh,
Xenophobic right-wing nutcase. No, we got one of those already, actually, mate.
He's the odd one out.
Yes.
Because the others were all chief scout.
Mm-hmm. What are the BNP doing?
Are they trying to set up a youth movement?
That's exactly right.
Are they really?
They are,
really?
yes. They're running weekend training camps that involve shooting, self-defence and nationalist ideology.
Right.
Nick Griffin has not been chief scout, but he does have a keen interest in the BNP's own youth movement. What else are the BNP doing to lure in even younger children?
Oh, cartoon strips?
Yes.
No.
They produced... Yeah, they have produced a comic called The Comet, which, according to The Sun, features a venom-spouting racist puppet called Billy Britt. And we have a clip of Billy Britt.
In AD 20 was born a queen. Boadicea was her name. But then one day from across the sea, some mean old Romans came. They took her land and beat her kids, and that just was not right. So she fought and died for freedom, and Boadicea was white.
Pixar have gone really downhill, haven't they?
And why else has Nick Griffin been in the news this week?
He's wangled an invitation to the Queen's garden party.
Yeah, that's right.
By being invited by somebody else.
Another BNP councillor.
Sound like they'll be at the perfect party, man. I mean, you know, I'm guessing there's not going to be a whole lot of black folk there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I think you'd find some there.
Working. Let that man go to the party, man. Just let that man go. Don't make no big deal. Nobody don't care.
Well, it's part of the problem that councillors are allowed to go and they're allowed to invite someone.
Yeah.
And they were elected.
I mean, as bad as it may sound, discrimination is bad, even against racists. It's just discriminatory. So you gotta let him go, man. You gotta let him go. Because then, you know, if you don't let him go, then he gonna be mad, and then he gonna feel like the reason he can't go is the fault of blacks and Asians, and he gonna go back and take it out on them. He gonna throw a garden party, and he ain't gonna let none of them come.
Yes, they have all been chief scouts, apart from Nick Griffin, whose BNP have their own youth movement. In one issue of the BNP publication The Rune, Nick Griffin called the Holocaust the Holohoax. I think you'll find that's a Channel 4 soap opera. I think you'll find there, Nick. There are now 30,000 young people on the waiting list to become scouts due to a national shortage of scout leaders. I blame that bloody register. Time now for the missing words round, and we start with nobody move, I've what?
I've finally got to meet my neighbours, and they're quite nice.
Nobody move, I've got a banana. A teenager attempted to rob an internet cafe with a banana. The customers were terrified, as none of them had seen a piece of fruit before. Next, bad news, men what?
Men die. It's a rather sad bit of news.
Bad news. Men are on the road to extinction. This is the news that the male Y chromosome is dying out and that men will be extinct in 5 million years' time.
Oh, so we better get all that partying in before it's too late. Come on, baby, I ain't got but 5 million years.
Also this week, complaints about an advert that made men look silly have not been upheld. Let's just have a quick look at some adverts from the days when it was OK to make women look silly. Have you the time for all your bits on the side?
That doesn't make her look silly.
You mean a woman can open it? The chef does everything but cook. That's what wives are for.
Is this chiming with your worldview?
No, man, I just found it naturally funny hearing things that you can't say to women, because I accidentally do that a lot.
Do you?
So the final scores are Ian and Stuart have 5 and Paul and Reg have 3.
Oh, no. Stuart, you've given me a very rare...
And I leave you with news that, after several months recuperating in the Caribbean, Amy Winehouse is looking better than ever. And at the French embassy, Nicolas Sarkozy claims another victim with his whoopee cushion. Good night.
We're going to have to do it again because you did that. Well, to be fair, that's how I got on the show.
Good night.
That's how you do it. Oh, it nearly killed me.